In 1972, the world met Michael Corleone. But while The Godfather was making millions, Al Pacino was actually broke. He was paid only $35,000 for the role that defined cinema, and after his agents and the taxman took their cut, he was basically back where he started, a kid from the Bronx with $90,000 in the bank and a name he didn't know how to handle. Most people think Al Pacino lived a life of luxury, but the truth is, Al didn't understand money, he only understood the stage. And that ignorance would eventually lead to a $50 million disaster that forced him to take the most embarrassing roles of his career. The Law of Al Pacino isn't just about movies. It's about a man who survived total emotional collapse. When Al was 22, his world ended. Within 1 year, he lost the two most important people in his life, his mother, Rose, and his grandfather. He was a high school dropout with no family left. He was so poor he spent years sleeping on friends' sofas and in theaters. He once said that if he hadn't found acting, he would have been just another Bronx street punk. He spent his 20s working as a janitor and a mailboy, doing anything to pay for acting classes. He wasn't chasing fame, he was chasing a way to survive the grief. Fast forward to 2011. Al Pacino is 71 years old, a living legend. He takes a family trip to Europe on a private jet, rents out an entire floor of a hotel, and realizes something is wrong. He actually had more money in his account after the trip than before. He discovered his accountant was running a massive Ponzi scheme. Al went from having $50 million to having zero. The law gets weirder. He was paying $400,000 a year for a landscaper at a house he didn't even live in. He had 23 cell phones he never used. He was a financial ignoramus, and at 71, he was suddenly destitute. This is why he did Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler. He didn't do it for the script, he did it to save his children's future. Today, Al Pacino is 85. He doesn't own 16 cars anymore. He lives a quieter life, focusing on his youngest son, Roman, born in 2023. He finally wrote his story, Sonny Boy, to explain that the man who played Tony Montana and Michael Corleone was often just a guy trying to keep the lights on. He proved that you can lose $50 million, you can lose your entire family by age 22. And you can still stand tall. He didn't just play The Godfather. He lived a life that was far more brutal, and far more human, than anything on a script. All from a kid sleeping on the street with $8 to his name. Share this if it moved you. Follow Star Law, because every star has a story worth knowing.